Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, quickly in sports, last night the Celtics beat the Mavericks. They lead in the series 3-0. They won last night 106-99. They were up by like 20-something points at one point. And Mavericks came back and
that was the Mavs' best shot last night. If they couldn't do it last night, they're not going to do it. So I don't know if this will be a sweep, but
I think they'll get one out of Dallas.
Maybe. Not the way they look right now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Well, Morgan, good morning.
Good morning. So y'all remember yesterday we were talking about Hunter Biden being convicted and all of that and whether or not the president should pardon his son, even though the president said he wasn't going to pardon his son?
Yep.
Well, the White House isn't ruling out the fact whether the White House is not ruling out whether President Biden would commute his son Hunter Biden's sentence, which is a different thing. I'll get into that in a second. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre declined to say whether the president would consider doing so, although she pointed to his previous comments that he would not pardon his son. Now, Hunter was convicted on Tuesday of 3 federal felonies for unlawfully purchasing a gun while addicted to drugs. A presidential commutation would reduce the sentence totally or partially. You guys get that? So the difference between a pardon is the guilt would be removed completely from the convicted person, and a commutation just simply reduces or eliminates the punishment from that person.
So if he get like 10 years, which he won't, he can say, he should get 1.
Essentially, he can either reduce the sentence or get rid of it completely, but the convictions will still remain on his record.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not getting no prison time, though. We know this.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he did, I mean, why wouldn't the president do it, right? That's his son.
I'm not mad at it.
That sounds like more of the line of something to do instead of pardoning is essentially what I'm getting at.
Well, guess what? I'm not mad at it, but I like to always put the shoe on the other foot. If the shoe was on the other foot and something like that was said, it would be World War III in the media, and y'all know that.
So let's go ahead and get into it. The House is approving a resolution to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. Why? Because, let me get into the resolution. It passed 216 to a 207 vote. Republicans are going after Garland for refusing to turn over recordings of President Biden's interview with special counsel Robert Hur, who investigated Biden's handling of classified documents. Just like you said, Pandora's box is open, Charlamagne. U.S. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise maintains that Garland must comply with Congress's request to turn over the audio recordings. Let's hear from him.
Well, with all due respect, Mr. Garland, this is not your decision. Congress has a constitutional duty to perform oversight. You look at the White House themselves, they've acknowledged that as they've turned over the transcripts, those transcripts have been edited. We know already by the White House's own admission that the transcript does not reflect what was said. It's only the audio that does, which is why we need to get the audio tape.
So House Speaker Mike Johnson and other GOP lawmakers say the audio of the interview is important to determine whether Hur's decision to bring charges against Biden is warranted. Now, Democrats are accusing Republicans are only trying to hurt Biden politically, but Biden has invoked executive privilege to prevent the recordings from being released. Yeah, so Democrats say GOP lawmakers are using this for political purposes, and note the DOJ has already released the transcript of the interview. And of course, those GOP lawmakers are like, nope, it's not enough. We want to hear the audio in full.
This is better than Scandal. This is better than Veep. This is better than House of Cards. None of those shows got anything on real life right now.
Yeah, definitely inspired by real life. And who didn't see this one coming? South Carolina Senator Tim Scott may be falling out of favor with former President Trump. The New York Post reports that Scott is slipping in the race to be Trump's running mate as vice president and is extremely unlikely to be chosen for the role, according to an inside source. Now, Scott is among several candidates reportedly being vetted by the Trump campaign, including Senators Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance, as well as Representatives Byron Donald, he's been thrown in the race now, and Elise Stefanik. Now, Trump says he plans to announce his running mate at the Republican convention next month.
President Trump finally realized Tim Scott is black.
I think he always knew that.
Trump is like, how does he have a permanent tan? Why does his tan never wear off? The reality is the base of the Republican Party ain't going for that.
No.
That's just the truth to the matter. They don't want no black.
I don't think Trump wants it, though. I don't think Trump wanted it. I think Trump was using Tim Scott for what he could use Tim Scott for. Never wanted it.
I mean, there's nothing he could actually use Tim Scott for. If he thought that Tim Scott was going to,
Tim Scott was going to use him.
Yeah. Because it's not like Tim Scott could help him with the black vote.
I don't think Trump knew that.
You don't think, huh? I don't know.
I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Envy. I don't think that he knew that. He probably felt like there
He's
might
black,
have been
yeah.
more mobilization there, and he's realizing, wow, you actually don't have the following I thought you might have had.
That's right.
No juice.
I'm not going to get too much into that. More in the 7 o'clock hour. That's
Okay. Thank you, Morgan.
Yeah.
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club from the Black Information Network. We have Morgan Wood, and let's get in some front page news.
Yes, let's do it. So the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, is suing the Biden administration over new asylum processing rules. Last week, President Biden took executive action to temporarily limit the number of people who can seek asylum per day. Now the ACLU is filing a lawsuit on behalf of 2 immigration advocacy groups. In their complaint, attorneys argued Biden's new asylum laws violate a congressional statute that allows migrants to apply for asylum whether or not they enter at a port of entry. Now, the lawsuit also says Congress has never permitted the executive branch to categorically ban asylum based on where they enter the U.S. I think this is more so for the southern border is the issue with this whole issue, as opposed to, somebody coming in from like Canada or something like that. But that's the problem. You can't pick and choose, which ports of entry is an issue. So.
And it feels like you can't pick and choose which administration you would sue, over this, because this has been an issue for years. It's not like, the border just started really being a problem. Like every administration has dealt with border issues. So it feels like the American Civil Liberties Union could sue any administration they want. So what happens when the Biden administration is no longer in office?
Now that I do not know, but I will find out for you and get back to you on that one, because it's true. I mean, we're on a countdown that none of us know the result to. So here we go. Well, let's lighten the mood a little bit. In sports-related news, the city of New Orleans is busy preparing to host next year's NFL Super Bowl. New Orleans City Chief Administrative Officer Gilbert Montano says the event will have a major impact on the city, and Downtown Development District President Davon Barbour also shared comments, adding, the city is excited and ready. Let's hear their comments.
I think this is one of, if not the most impactful event that the city's going to see in probably a decade. It's pretty darn close to it.
We know the number of events that we host on a regular basis, and so we're no stranger to producing events. When you think about the scale of pulling off Mardi Gras, no other community can compete in terms of producing events like that. Everyone understands what this means to our community from an economic impact, as well as showcasing the best of New Orleans.
I love to see it. I love New Orleans. And, it's true. Who else can pull off Mardi Gras like they do? So I don't think that they're going to be any stranger to the Super Bowl, but it's definitely going to be probably really crowded. So New Orleans is working to complete nearly $40 million in infrastructure and beautification projects ahead of February. Repairs are underway on roadways, sidewalks, and city officials say they're considering wrapping some of the blighted downtown buildings to make them look better. Super Bowl 59 goes down on February 9th, 2025.
Well, salute that. I'm definitely not going. I'm not going. But salute to everybody who listens to us on Q93 in New Orleans. And we need the Super Bowl halftime show to be Lil Wayne, Drake, and Friends next year. I mean, Lil Wayne needs to be the headliner. Yep. But it needs to be Lil Wayne and Friends, and maybe they'll do it the way they did, Dre and Snoop.
Dre, yeah.
But it would have to be Lil Wayne has to be the headliner at the Super Bowl. You can't tell me Lil Wayne not big enough to headline the Super Bowl, bro.
Lil Wayne, why you keep saying Lil Wayne?
That's his
Lil
name.
Wayne. What's happening, baby?
Lil Wayne is Lil, just Lil Wayne.
Can you imagine Juvenile back that ass up at the Super Bowl?
What?
It has to. It probably should happen because he's also celebrating 25 years.
That would be on, man.
So I mean, I'm just saying.
Come on, Rock Nation, make that
and that's
happen.
very much in line and on brand for New Orleans. Bounce music and all that. So moving on. Team USA has officially unveiled the women's basketball roster for the Summer Olympics. As reported over the weekend, Caitlin Clark did not get named to one of the 12 roster spots, but she will reportedly serve as an alternate in case of injury. Asia Wilson, Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart are among the marquee players who will be headed to Paris. Also on the lineup, Alyssa Thomas, Nafisa Collier, Jackie Young, Sabrina Ionescu, Chelsea Gray, Kalia Cooper, Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plume, and Brittany Griner. They round out the rest of the roster, with most of the players coming from the back-to-back championship-winning Las Vegas Aces, followed by the Phoenix Suns. Now, Team USA will play Team WNBA in the WNBA All-Star Game on July 20th in Phoenix before heading to France. They take on Japan on July 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Fun fact about the USA women's basketball team, they've won gold at every Olympics since 1996.
7 straight. Now, one of those young ladies gets mysteriously injured. Okay, you know why? So they can have Caitlin on the team. But I will say Chelsea Gray has been hurt all year. I don't know how bad it is, but she says she's coming back this year. So, I mean, there are some people on the roster who already are dealing with some injuries.
Right.
You know? So.
But Brittany is going to kill it. So.
Oh, let's hope not, Jess, you know?
She loves Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner is the best, Morgan. I don't know if you already know, but
I'm joking because I just want her to be safe when she travels. That's all I'm saying.
Well, people think that Brittany and Jess's boyfriend look alike.
That just sounds so
husband.
crazy.
But I will tell you something. Salute to Brittany and her wife, because they ate their maternity shoot up, killing Jess and Chris.
Oh yeah,
killing them. Killing them.
Oh, not
whatever.
Well, congratulations to them. That's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. You can follow me on social at Morgan Media, MORGYN Media. And for more news coverage, follow the Black Information Network at Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
All right. Thank you, Morgan. Now, when we come back, Tyler will be joining us, South African artist. Tyler will be here. And please don't sing like that again. We'll kick it with her when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.